So that's why we are with those. Our buyers influence is relatively low due to the number of buyers we have. I mean, there are a few factors that also impact that. So we have the perishability, inseparability, simultaneity, intangibility, and variability. So the goal of hospitality and service are something that can't be physically touched by guests. So it's intangible. Our service is consumed when our product is consumed. So that's where the simultaneity comes in. We can't reverse the process. We can't undo the service we provided. We can't rewind your dining experience. So that's the perishability. Like it is a one-time experience, especially due to the implementation of that little something extra mantra. We're always trying to do something unique and memorable in a guest dining experience. So it is perishable. It is not to be created exactly in this environment again. No matter how hard we try, it will always be different. It will never be the same thing. And then we lastly have the inseparability and variability. You can't have the product without some sort of service. So even in our mobile app, if you're ordering ahead of time, you're coming in to pick it up, you're still charged a service fee because we're making the food, we're bagging the food. It's not, you can't take these two things away from each other. They are product and service combined. And then as far as the variability, that's going to be the unique service experiences in that it's never the same. It's always different. Every experience you have is an opportunity for a different experience in McAllister's. So our buyers have relatively low influence due to the high number of buyers. We are a corporate company. We are, nationwide. So even if we don't have, extreme loyalty because we're competing with 3 other locations in Springfield, we still have people that come to Springfield and will eat at McAllister's during their visit because it's something familiar. They have it in their region. They know what kind of service to expect. So as far as that goes, we have a lot of brand loyalty, a lot of total buyers. So the degree of brand loyalty drives down the importance of each buyer individually. For potential competitors, there are quite a few, especially in our region. We have, Panera, Schlotzsky's, Pickleman's. Those are the 3 I've identified in our region. They have similar product offerings at similar price points, but our competitive advantage is going to be that memorable hospitality experience and that tea that we promote as our signature product and flavor. And then lastly, we've got just the competitiveness of the industry. The restaurant industry and food service in general and hospitality in general are very volatile right now. So they're very competitive. Everyone is putting out, sign-on bonuses. And McAllister's is competing with that by keeping our less structured, managed franchises with the corporate backing of the McAllister's brand. And so we are, we're attempting recruiting methods through the incentivization of current employees. We're not really seeking out, crazy bonuses for people who sign on because it's not fair to current employees, and a lot of time they're unattainable. But we are, really, just trying to hire and keep our, our environmental atmospheric edge in the dining experiences, hospitality experiences, and our competitive advantage with our simple products, but our signature flavor of tea. On the SWOT analysis, I identified strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. For strengths, I was able to identify marketing, advertising, brand loyalty, unique product offering, and service standards, which I've discussed at length. But application of the mobile application and application of high service standards are 2 of our great strengths. And advertising as well. We do a lot of promotion through our mobile app. We do a lot of promotion on Facebook. We do a lot of promotion through email. So they're really out there trying to drive up guest visitation to the store. And then, brand loyalty, we've got those people coming in every day, sometimes for tea. We have what's called tea time. It's a promotional offering only in our region, only in our district. From 2 to 5 every day, people get discounted tea, gallons, and glasses. So that's another way we drive people in. We do the kids eat free in our location specifically. We do discounts for Cox and Mercy employees, which are 2 of our local hospitals here in Springfield. And so it's just, we try to create those strong ties in the community through promotional discounts and coupons and days to really drive in those customers. Some of our weaknesses are just how our employee operations, just how our employees are trained, how our employees are compensated, how employee concerns are addressed, how employees are communicated with. All of these things are really negative within our company, and they're really detrimental to the existence of the establishment. And also our location. While we are next to, Wonders of Wildlife, Bass Pro Shops, we also are in a strip mall, which is kind of back from the main road. We're not in a standalone building, and other locations that are standalone buildings or have more prominent, viewing in the area have more foot traffic. And also they're doing a lot of construction on the road we're located on currently, so it makes it really hard to enter or exit the restaurant, and that has definitely driven down some sales, especially in the evenings and afternoons when it's cooler and they're actually doing that construction. It definitely drives back when our dinner rushes and when our lunch is able to hit every day. But with this come a lot of opportunities. There is a lot of opportunity in order to promote better employment in our establishment if they were just able to find a way to pay employees more adequately, to apply sufficient training, to address those employee concerns, to, look at those demographics and just kind of improve employee relations so that they're more motivated to improve guest relations and therefore keep up our edge and competitive advantage in that brand loyalty and service experience. Threats to the company are that volatile work environment that sits at food service right now. Our company's current efforts to decrease overall labor hours and overall overtime hours is really hard because we only have a certain number of employees and we still have a certain number of hours that have to be worked. So a lot of employees in the week with a considerable amount of overtime, but we're trying to decrease that overall amount, which we can't do until we have more staff. So everything is kind of a cycle, plays into it. We're competing with those other 3 locations here in the city of Springfield. The opening of Raising Cane's was definitely something that impacted our location most recently. It's located on like an opposite corner from us. It was long anticipated in Springfield, and it did drive down sales for the first few months it was open, but we've kind of come over that mountain, and now we're just trying to sustain the same level of customer, like a business that we had before. And also supply chain issues continue to exist just because of the shortages impacted by COVID-19. And there's a lot of stuff that we're watching out for. We might potentially be removing from the menu temporarily just because we can't access the products in order to create it. So for resources, competencies, and competitive advantage. So one big benefit to our location in general is the resources of a corporate structure and a separate management company. So we have 2 things to fall back on that kind of work together to create a unique work environment so that we can create that unique dining experience for our guests. Our company standards are really high and our service expectations are really high, not only for McAllister's, but for Southern Rock. They hold all employees to 6 service standards, which is engage each guest, unyielding standards, immaculate appearance, fast, friendly, and technically proficient. So those are the standards that our employees at Southern Rock Management are held to, on top of the regular company standards, to provide a little something extra for the guest as a McAllister standard. And then our competitive advantage is that brand loyalty, unique product selection. People are coming specifically for the tea, and they're just, they're getting that recognizable flavor in their dining choices. To kind of go along with it. It may not be the main factor there, but if they come in for a tea, they might get a cookie. If they come in for a tea, they might get a salad to go, or they might get a cup of soup. There's that upsell potential for those coming in every day just for a drink. So their overall strategy is a combination of a differentiation strategy, because they're trying to offer the same products at kind of the same price point as a lot of other companies and competitors, but at a different experience created for them at that same price. And then the cost leadership strategy is, of course, they're trying to drive down everything that is cost in the company. So like I said, they're trying to bring down overtime. They're trying to bring down labor hours total. They're trying to just increase efficiency. Our biggest thing when training is, first you have to be effective at something, and then you can become efficient. So that's their goal, is they just want to minimize anything that is like dead weight. Which sounds a little harsh, but in a corporate structure, that makes a lot of sense. And so in that sense, there is that corporate influence. They're really trying to do that. But the differentiation is in the service standards we're held to. And so therefore, hopefully we're having, increased memorable hospitality experiences with guests in order to drive that brand loyalty. And then really their strategic direction is just to kind of continue in the same path. They're going to continue to decrease and minimize the unnecessary costs. And they're going to just drive for that customer experience to continue to be stellar and just above and beyond, so that people will keep returning to the store. There are leadership gaps because it's not structured as